Adhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Om Jnanatimidandhasya Gyananandana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Namo Vishnupadaya Acharya Singha Rupine Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Iti Namine Pati Marta Charitraya Swasitam Chapaline Jive Dukhe Zadartaya Srinam Prema Daine Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Dayitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namah Madhurajvala Pramadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namastute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rup Anuga Viruddha Papa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Vipralambhara Sambodhi Padambujayate Nama Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rup Anugovadayate Gaura Vir Bhabhumistang Nirdishta Sajjana Priya Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannathayate Nama Mancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahavadanyaya Vishnu Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gauratvishe Namah He Krishna Karunar Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Brahmanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatang Saratopanga Namo Mandamate Gati Matsarvasa Padambojau Radha Madan Mohana Divya Vrindavan Kalpadruma Srimad Nagarav Singhasanastahu Shri Shri Radha Shri Govinda Deva Prashtalidhi Sevyamana Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vangshivata Tathastita Karhan Venakshana Gopid Gopinatha Shriyestunaha Vrindavai Tulasi Debari Priyamai Keshavashasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sattvatai Namo Namaha Panchatatmatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
And let us offer our most humble obeisances and the lotus feet of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Let us also offer our most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, and all their eternal associates. Let us also offer our most humble respects to the scripture, Sri Sri Caitanya Caritamrta. May they bless us so that we receive these wonderful instructions and keep to memory all the wonderful pastimes of the Lord and remain always enthusiastic in our spiritual aspiration. So we are reading from MadhyaLila, Lord Chaitanya's travels to the holy places. Text 271. মুক্তি কর্ম দুই বস্তু ত্যাজে ভক্তগণ সেই দুই স্থাপ তুমি সাধ্য সাধন.
Both liberation and fruitive activity are rejected by devotees. You are trying to establish these things as life's goal and the process to attain it.
সন্ন্যাসী দেখিয়া মোরে করহ বঞ্চন না কহিলা তেই সাধ্য সাধন লক্ষণ.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued speaking to the Tattvavadi Acharya. Seeing that I am a mendicant in the renounced order of life, you had been playing with me in a duplicitous way. You have not actually described the process and ultimate objective.
শুনি তত্ত্বাচার্য হইলা অন্তরে লজ্জিত প্রভুর বৈষ্ণবতা দেখি হইলা বিস্মিত.
After hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Acharya of the Tattvavad Sampradaya became very ashamed. Upon observing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's rigid faith in Vaishnavism, he was struck with wonder.
আচার্য কহে তুমি যেই কহ সেই সত্য হয় সর্বশাস্ত্রে বৈষ্ণবের এই সুনিশ্চয়.
The Tattvavadi Acharya replied, "What you have said is certainly factual. It is the conclusion of all the revealed scriptures of the Vaishnavas."
তথাপি মধ্যাচার্য যে করিয়াছে নির্বদ্ধ সে আচরিয়ে সবে সম্প্রদায় সম্বন্ধ.
Still, whatever Madhvacharya has ascertained to be the formula for our party, we practice as a party policy.
প্রভু কহে কর্মী জ্ঞানী দুই ভক্তিহীন তোমার সম্প্রদায়ে দেখি সেই দুই চিহ্ন.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Both the fruitive worker and the speculative philosopher are considered non-devotees. We see both elements present in your sampradaya.
সবে এক গুণ দেখি তোমার সম্প্রদায়ে, সত্য বিগ্রহ করি ঈশ্বরে করহ নিশ্চয়ে.
The only qualification that I see in your sampradaya is that you accept the form of the Lord as truth. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to point out to the Tattvavadi Acharya who belonged to the Madhvacharya Sampradaya that their general behavior did not favor pure devotional service, which must be devoid of the taints of fruitive activity and speculative knowledge. As far as fruitive activity is concerned, the contamination is elevation to a higher standard of life. And for speculative knowledge, the contamination is merging into the existence of the absolute truth. The Tattvavada Sampradaya of the Madhvacharya school sticks to the principle of Varnashram Dharma, which involves fruitive activity. Their ultimate goal, mukti, is simply a form of desire. A pure devotee should be free from all kinds of desire. He simply engages in the service of the Lord. Nonetheless, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was pleased that the Madhvacharya Sampradaya or the Tattvavada Sampradaya accepted the transcendental form of the Lord. This is the great qualification of these Vaishnava Sampradayas. It is the Mayavad Sampradaya that doesn't accept the transcendental form of the Lord. If a Vaishnava Sampradaya is also carried away by that impersonal attitude, that Sampradaya has no position at all. It is a fact that there are many so-called Vaishnavas whose ultimate aim is to merge into the existence of the Lord. The Sahajiyaj Vaishnava philosophy is to become one with the Supreme. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu points out that Sri Madhavendra Puri accepted Madhvacharya only because his sampradaya accepted the transcendental form of the Lord.
This is a very important factor, that the deity form, the vigraha, and the Lord's transcendental form, they are not a speculation, not imagination, like the Mayavadis. Sometimes Mayavadis are seen to be worshipping deities with the understanding that in the beginning we need a form, a visible form of the Lord, because impersonal means invisible. Impersonal means invisible. So it is practically impossible or very difficult to meditate on the impersonal, the formless. So therefore, to help the Mayavadis to have the realization of the equality between Jiva and Bhagavan, and then later merging into the form of impersonal Brahman, one may construct a deity form, which is anyway a ways and means support. But in actual fact, they don't accept, the Mayavadis don't accept that the Supreme Lord's form is eternal, and that he possesses the form also. So these are rejected by the Mayavadis. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to see or hear that MadhyaLila and his line, in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also included himself because of Madhavendra Puripad, the pure devotee. So he took this line, spiritual line. If not for anything else, but for the mere fact that Tattvadis accept the Supreme Lord's form as transcendental. Therefore, he was willing to accept this sampradaya as a Vaishnava sampradaya. But there were quite a few fallacies which he didn't go into at that moment. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't go into a debate regarding all the fallacies and misconceptions that has developed from the time of Madhvacharya, especially regarding their complete acceptance of Varnashram Dharma. Actually, the Varnashram Dharma was meant for other ages. It was introduced in Treta Yuga and practiced in Treta and Dwapar. But in Kali Yuga, they are not valid anymore. Not valid. Therefore, they are considered to be a part of karma kanda, fruitive action. So Mahaprabhu rejected completely fruitive actions as well as speculation, speculative philosophy which leads to impersonal Brahman realization. Mahaprabhu then pointed out that this is the reason why we accept this sampradaya. The Tattvada sampradaya of the Madhvacharya school sticks to the principle of Varnashram Dharma, which involves fruitive activity. And fruitive activity is meant for elevation to higher planets. Whereas speculative knowledge leads to merging into the transcendental emanation of the Supreme Lord's transcendental form. In both cases, the most wonderful and transcendental aspect of devotional service is missing. It's not there. And therefore, Mahaprabhu rejected this, where there is no devotional service involved in the relationship to the Supreme. Mahaprabhu didn't accept that. এই মতো তার ঘরে গর্ব চূর্ণ করি ফল্গু তীর্থে তবে চলি আইলা গৌরহরি.
Thus, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu broke the pride of the Tattvadis to pieces. He then went to the holy place known as Falgu Tirtha.
ত্রিতকূপে বিশালার করি দর্শন পঞ্চাপ্সরা তীর্থে আইলা সচিন নন্দন.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Sachi, went to Tritakup, and after seeing the Vishala deity there, he went to the holy place known as Panchapsara Tirtha. Purport. The Apsaras, denizens of the heavenly planets, are generally known as dancing girls. The girls in the heavenly planets are exquisitely beautiful, and if a woman on earth is found to be very beautiful, she is compared to the Apsaras. There were 5 Apsaras named Lata, Budbuda, Samichi, Saurabhi, and Varna. It is said that these 5 beautiful dancing girls were sent by Indra to break the severe austerity of a saintly person called Achyut Rishi. This action was typical of Indra, the king of heaven. Whenever Indra discovered someone undergoing severe austerities, he would begin to fear for his post. Indra is always anxious about his position, fearing that if someone becomes more powerful than him, he would lose his elevated position. As soon as he would see a saint undergoing severe austerities, he would send dancing girls to distract him. Even the great saint Vishwamitra Muni fell victim to his plan. When the 5 Apsaras went to break Achyut Rishi's meditation, they were all chastised and cursed by the saint. As a result, the girls turned into crocodiles in a lake that came to be known as Panchapsara. Lord, Panchapsara. Lord Ramachandra also visited this place. From Sri Narad Muni's narration, it is understood that when Arjun went to visit the holy places, he learned about the condemnation of the 5 Apsaras. He delivered them from their abominable condition, and from that day, the lake came to be known as Pancha Apsara, and it became a place of pilgrimage.
Indra is always in anxiety of losing his position. First of all, he is in anxiety that a very powerful demon may defeat him, as he was defeated many times, not just once. And then, of course, if anyone can perform 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas, then automatically that person becomes eligible to become the king of heaven, Indra. However, Indra should not have any such fear, because there is his duty, his position, administrator, is time bound. Every Indra is ruling over the heavenly planets for a certain number of years, hundreds and hundreds of years. This is time bound. However, Indra is, in that sense, quite fearful to lose his position. So therefore, whenever he sees anyone, including Vishwamitra, where he was successful, or even Lord Shiva, where he was not successful, like that, to underbreak the tapasya, the severe austerities, which would then give sufficient merits to the practicing yogi, so that he may actually be given the position of Indra. So this was always Indra's fear. Gokarne Shiva dekhi aila dvaipayani Shurparok tirthe aila Nashi Shiromuni.
After seeing Panchapsara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gokarna. While there, he visited the temple of Lord Shiva, and then he went to Dvaipayini, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the crown jewel of all sannyasis, then went to Surparaka Tirtha. Purport: Gokarna is situated in North Canada, in the Maharashtra province. It is about 20 miles southeast of Karoyara. This place is very famous for the temple of Lord Shiv, known as Mahabaleshwar. Hundreds and thousands of pilgrims come to see this temple. Surparak is about 26 miles north of Bombay. In the Maharashtra province near Bombay is a district known as Thana and a place known as Sopara. Surparak is mentioned in Mahabharata, Shanti Parva, chapter 41, verses 66-67.
That Mahabharata is actually a history, a historical document of ancient India, of Bharatvarsha, has many such proofs that those names which were mentioned in the Mahabharata, even after 5, 6, 7,000 years, these places are still there, proving that it's not mythologists, the foolish so-called academicians, historians who studied the Mahabharata under the British rule. They wanted to scrap Mahabharata and other Sanatana scriptures by calling them mythology. So such examples like Surparka, it was known during the Mahabharata times as Surparaka. And now due to the philological derivation, it has become Supara. There are many such instances. So anybody else has the English?
Hare Krishna, yes, good.
কোলাপুরে লক্ষ্মী দেখি দেখেন ক্ষীর ভগবতী, লাঙ্গ গণেশ দেখি দেখেন চোর পার্বতী.
After saying Pancha Pashra, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Gokarna. While there,
No. Next verse. 281.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then visited the town of Kolhapura, where he saw the goddess of fortune in the temple of Kashir Bhagavati. Shira Bhagavati and Langa Ganesh in another temple known as Kora Parvati. Shola Parvati. Purport. Shola Parvati is a town in the Maharashtra province, formerly known as Bombay Pradesh. Formerly it was a native state, and it is bordered on the north by the district of Santara. On the east and south by the district of Belagaum, and on the west by the district of Ratnagiri. In this place there is a river named Uma. From the Bombay Gazette, it is understood that there were...
Urna. The river is called Urna, not Uma.
Okay. Sorry, Buddha. Urna. From the Bombay Gazette, it is understood that there were about 215 temples there, out of which 6 are very famous. These are Ambadai or Mahalakshmi Mandir, Vitoda Mandir, Templai Mandir, Mahakali Mandir, Piranga or Pratyanagira Mandir, and Yayalama Mandir.
তথা হইতে পাণ্ডারপুরে আইলা গৌরচন্দ্র বিঠ্ঠল ঠাকুর দেখি পাইলা আনন্দ.
From there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Pandharpur, where he happily saw the temple of Vithatala Thakur.
বিঠ্ঠল ঠাকুর.
Vital Thakur. Purport. This city of Pandharpur is situated on the river Bhima. It is said that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu initiated Tukarama when he visited Pandharpur. This Tukarama Acharya became very famous in the Maharashtra province, and he spread the Sankirtan movement all over the province. The Sankirtan party belonging to Tukarama is still very popular in Bombay and the province of Maharashtra. Tukarama was a disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his book is known as Abhanga. His Sankirtan party exactly resembled the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sankirtan parties, for their chant the holy name of the Lord with Mridanga and kartals. The Lord Vittal Dev mentioned in this verse is a form of Lord Vishnu with 4 hands. He is Narayan.
So Tukaram, a very famous saint in that area, Maharashtra, Mumbai. He has also composed many beautiful songs in the local language. And singing songs, especially spiritual songs, are a long Vaishnava tradition. And there are many mystical and many stories regarding Tukaram. He was very much transcendental to the material modes and performed many miracles and wonderful deeds. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting that place, he found that Sankirtan movement was already spreading there. And who could have done that? Another question. However, prior to Mahaprabhu's visit, Sankirtan in Maharashtra had not started. But after Mahaprabhu came and initiated Tukaram, and Mahaprabhu then inspired them to start Sankirtan. This is the understanding. প্রেমাবেশে কইল বহুত কীর্তন নর্তন তাহা এক বিপ্র তারে কইল নিমন্ত্রণ.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanted and danced in various ways as usual, and one Brahmana, seeing him in ecstatic love, was very pleased. He even invited the Lord in his home for lunch.
বহুত আদরে প্রভুকে ভিক্ষা করাইল, ভিক্ষা করি তথা এক শুভ বার্তা পাইল.
This Brahmana offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu food with great respect and love. After finishing his lunch, the Lord received auspicious news.
মাধবপুরীর শিষ্য শ্রীরঙ্গপুরী নাম, সেই গ্রামে বিপ্রগৃহে করেন বিশ্রাম.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received word that Sri Rangapuri, one of the disciples of Sri Madhavendra Puri, was present in that village at the home of a Brahmana.
শুনিয়া চলিলা প্রভু তাঁরে দেখিবারে, বিপ্র ঘরে বসিয়াছেন দেখিলা তাহারে।
Hearing this news, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately went to see Sri Rangapuri at the Brahmana's house. Upon entering, the Lord saw him sitting there.
প্রেমাবেশে করে তাঁরে দণ্ড প্রণাম, অশ্রুপুলক কম্প সর্বাঙ্গে পড়ে ঘাম।
As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the Brahmana, he immediately began to offer him obeisances in ecstatic love, falling flat at the ground. The symptoms of transcendental transformation were visible, namely tears, jubilation, trembling, and perspiration.
দেখিয়া বিস্মিত হইল শ্রীরঙ্গপুরীর মন, কুতহ শ্রীপাদ বলিলা বচন।
Upon seeing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in such an ecstatic mood, Sri Rangapuri said, "Your Holiness, please get up."
শ্রীপাদ ধর্মর গোসাই সম্বন্ধ, তাহা বিনা অন্যত্র নাহি এই প্রেমার গন্ধ।
Your Holiness is certainly related to Sri Madhavendra Puri, without whom there is no flavor of ecstatic love. Purport. Sri Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur remarks that in the disciplic succession of Madhavendra Acharya, Madhavacharya, up to the advent of His Holiness Shripad Lakshmipati Trita, only Lord Krishna was worshipped. After Srila Madhavendra Puri, worship of both Radha and Krishna was established. For this reason, Sri Madhavendra Puri is accepted as the root of worship in ecstatic love. Unless one is connected to the disciplic succession of Madhavendra Puri, there is no possibility of awakening the symptoms of ecstatic love. The word Goshai is significant in this connection. The spiritual master who is fully surrendered unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and has no business other than the Lord's service is called the best of the Paramahamsas. A Paramahamsa has no program for sense gratification. He is interested only in satisfying the senses of the Lord. One who has control of the senses in this way is called a Goshai and a Goswami, master of the senses. The senses cannot be controlled unless one is engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, a bona fide spiritual master who has full control over the senses engages 24 hours a day in the Lord's service. He can therefore be addressed as Goshai or Goswami. The title Goswami cannot be inherited but can be given only to a bona fide spiritual master. There were 6 great Goswamis of Vrindavan: Srila Rupa, Sanatan, Bhatta, Raghunatha, Sri Jiva, Gopal Bhatta, and Das Raghunath, and none of them inherited the title of Goswami. All the Goswamis of Vrindavan were bona fide spiritual master situated on the highest platform of devotional service, and for that reason they were called Goswamis. All the temples of Vrindavan were certainly started by the 6 Goswamis. Later, the worship in the temples was entrusted to some householder disciples of the Goswamis. And since then, the hereditary title expanding the cult of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Krishna consciousness movement, and who is in full control of his senses, can be addressed as a Goswami. Unfortunately, the hereditary process is going on. Therefore, at the present moment, in most cases, the title is being misused due to ignorance of the word's etymology.
This word Goswami or Gosai, Gosai is a shortened form of Goswami. Go means senses, Swami means controller or master. So Goswami is a controller and master of his senses. Now, in the Vaishnava Sampradaya, prior to Madhavendra Puripad, Krishna was worshipped alone. There was no deity of Radharani, because nobody knew how to worship Radharani and what was her position until Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invented. And then, of course, it became known because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. So he knows very well. But deity worship, the worship of Radharani in the form of a deity was not known at that time, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had not begun to preach the philosophy. এত বলি প্রভুকে উঠাইয়া কহিল কালিঙ্গন গলাগলি করি দুহে ঘরে খতন.
After saying this, Sri Rangapuri lifted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and embraced him. When they both embraced, they began to cry in ecstasy.
ক্ষণিকে আবেশ ছাড়ি দুহার ধৈর্য কইল ঈশ্বর পুরী সম্বন্ধ গোসাই জানাইল.
After some moments, they came to their senses and became patient. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then informed Sri Ranga Puri about his relationship with Ishwar Puri.
অদ্ভুত প্রেমের বন্যা দুহার উঠলিল দুহে মান্য করি দুহে আনন্দে বসিল.
They were both inundated by the wonderful ecstasy of love, which was aroused in both of them. They finally sat down and respectfully began to converse.
দুইজনে কৃষ্ণ কথা কহে রাত্রি দিনে এই মতে গোয়াইল 5-7 দিনে.
In this way, they discussed topics about Lord Krishna continuously for 5 to 7 days.
কৌতুকে পুরী তাঁরে পুছিল জন্মস্থান গোসাই কৌতুকে কহে নবদ্বীপ নাম.
Out of curiosity, Sri Rangapuri asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about his birthplace, and the Lord informed him that it was Navadvip Dham.
শ্রীমাধব পুরীর সঙ্গে শ্রীরঙ্গপুরী পূর্বে আসিয়াছিলা তেহ নদিয়া নগরী.
Sri Rangapuri had formerly gone to Navadvip with Sri Madhavendra Puri, and he therefore remembered the incidents that took place there.
জগন্নাথ মিশ্র ঘরে ভিক্ষা যে করিল অপূর্ব মশাল ঘণ্ট তাহা যে খাইল.
As soon as Sri Rangapuri recalled Navadvip, he also recalled accompanying Sri Madhavendra Puri to the house of Jagannath Mishra, where he took lunch. He even remembered the taste of an unprecedented curry made of banana flowers.
জগন্নাথের ব্রাহ্মণী তেহ মহাপতিব্রতা বাৎসল্যে হয়েন তেহ যেন জগন্মাতা।
Sri Rangapuri also remembered the wife of Jagannath Mishra. She was very devoted and chaste. As for her affection, she was exactly like the mother of the universe.
রন্ধনে নিপুণতা সবনাহি ত্রিভুবনে, পুত্র সম স্নেহ করেন সন্ন্যাস ভক্তগণে ভোজনে।
He also remembered how Sri Jagannath Mishra's wife, Sachimata, was expert in cooking. He recalled that she was very affectionate toward the sannyasis and fed them exactly like her own sons.
তার এক যোগ্য পুত্র করিয়াছে সন্ন্যাস, শঙ্করণ্য নাম তার অল্প বয়স।
Sri Rangapuri also understood that one of her deserving sons accepted the renounced order at a very young age. His name was Shankaranya.
এই তীর্থে শঙ্করারণ্যের সিদ্ধি প্রাপ্তি হইল, প্রস্তাবে শ্রীরঙ্গপুরী হইতে হইল।
Sri Rangapuri informed Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that in this holy place, Pandharpur, the sannyasi named Shankararanya attained perfection. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's elder brother was named Vishwarup. He left home before Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and accepted the sannyas order under the name of Sankararanya Swami. He traveled all over the country and finally went to Pandharpur, where he passed away after attaining perfection. In other words, he entered the spiritual world after giving up his mortal body at Pandharpur.
প্রভু কহে পূর্বাশ্রমে তেহ মোর ভ্রাতা, জগন্নাথ মিশ্র পূর্বাশ্রমে মোর পিতা।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, in my previous ashram, Sankararnai was my brother and Jagannath Mishra was my father.
এই মতো দুইজনে ইষ্ট গোষ্ঠী করি, দ্বারকা দেখিতে চলিলা শ্রীরঙ্গপুরী।
After finishing his talks with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Rangapuri started for Dwarakadam.
দিনচারি তথা প্রভুকে রাখিল ব্রাহ্মণ, ভীমা নদী স্নান করি করেন বিঠল দর্শন।
After Sri Rangapuri departed for Dwaraka, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained with the Brahmana at Pandharpur for 4 more days. He took his bath in the Bhima river and visited the temple of Vitata.
তবে মহাপ্রভু আইলা কৃষ্ণ বেনান তীরে, নানা তীর্থ দেখি তাহা দেবতা মন্দিরে।
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu next went to the bank of the Krishna Venva river, where he visited many holy places and the temple of various gods. Purport. This river is another branch of the river Krishna. It is said that Thakur Bilvamangal resided on the banks of this river. This river is sometimes called the Vina, the Veni, the Sina, and the Bhima.
Questions? Hare Krishna. So then Krishna
Hare
so
Krishna.
desires, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada blesses us. We shall get to hear Harikatha tomorrow again. I thank all of you for your patient hearing and beg forgiveness for all the mistakes I have committed. Let us once again offer our most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of Srila Krishnada Kaviraj Goswami, at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. Let us also offer our most humble obeisances at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Sri Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Advaita Acharya. Let us also offer and all the eternal associates. Let us also offer our most humble respects to the scriptures, Sri Chaitanya Caritamrta. Hare Krishna and all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna,
All
Jai
glories to
Gurudev.
Prabhupada.
All glories to Gurudev.